and welcome back to my channel, or hi, hello if you're new here. If you're new here, hi, hello, and welcome. In today's video, I'm going to be doing an updated foundation routine. I have kind of changed a little bit of the way that I kind of do my foundation, so I really wanted to give you guys an updated one, especially for the summer months, because I know this is the time of the year that, you know, the weather is getting hotter, the temperature's changing. It's a little bit harder to keep products on your face, so I kind of just wanted to do a updated makeup routine. So let's go ahead and get right on into this routine. To address the elephant in the room, yes, I did top off my hair. My mom did it herself. I didn't go to a salon because even though the salons are opening up in my area, I still don't really feel safe with it, and I don't really feel like we should be still just venturing out yet. So I'm trying to stay home as much as I can. I have been staying home for the most part. So, but I did just kind of want to address that a little thing right there, that she did cut my hair, because I know it's probably going to be obvious, and I love it. I love it when my hair is this length or shorter, because it's just easier to manage. You know, it's just getting way too long. She did follow Brad Mondo's hair cutting tutorial, so Brad Mondo, thank you for uploading that hair tutorial, because that really helped us out a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and do my foundation routine. So I have a little bit of a breakout going on my forehead. I don't know what the deal is. I really don't know. It's quite frustrating. But I'm going to be using a face primer today that I have been using and keeping in my routine and loving. I haven't changed anything in my routine. This is the Ulta Beauty Mattifying Face Primer. This is an oil-free, paraben-free primer. I really like the Ulta Beauty brand primers. They do a really good job at making your makeup last all day long and just really ensuring that it lasts throughout the day. So I'm going to be getting just a tiny little amount, and I'm going to be applying this all over my face. So I also really would like to say that in the summertime, it is really important to pick a good kind of tackier primer. This one has a little bit of a tackiness to it. It's not super tacky and sticky, but it's enough to kind of cling on to that foundation and make it last. I always try to focus extra primer on the areas that tend to break up on me the most. So for me, that's kind of around my forehead, a little bit around my chin area, and a little bit on my nose. This next trick is a trick that I've been using for a while now. I always put powder on over the top of my primer and before I do my foundation to keep my skin mattifying and keep it where it's shine free for a really long time. That is a really good hack to use. So always do your primer and then go in with your powder if you're going to do this technique. You should never ever layer your primer over the powder, because it's going to cause everything to break up and separate. I just realized I didn't even tell you guys the powder that I'm using. This is the Hard Candy Translucent Loose Sheer Envy powder. I actually really like this setting powder. It's a really good one. It's only $5. It's from Walmart. You can only get this exclusively at Walmart, I believe, or off of Hard Candy's website, because that is where they are sold. I put way too much powder into the cap, not paying attention like normal, but that's okay. I'm going to take a little powder poof like this one. You can get these off of Amazon for very, very inexpensive. So I'm just going to get a little bit of that onto the poof, and then I'm just going to be applying this to my face. And I'm kind of just going to be applying it like you normally would face powder. I'm actually just going to leave this cap right here off to the side, so that way when we do my under eye concealer in a minute and we set my face, or set my concealer, I'll just have that to go back into. So for foundation for the summertime, I try to use a foundation that is good and long lasting. I've really been into the NYX Can't Stop One Stop foundation. That is a really good matte foundation, and it looks so just skin-like on the skin. It doesn't look super heavy. It doesn't feel super heavy. It doesn't feel like you have a lot of makeup on, and it doesn't look like you have a lot of makeup on either. It is super full coverage. One pump of that stuff and you are done. The great thing about that foundation is that it lasts a good 12 plus hours on the skin. It doesn't break up whatsoever. But another really good mattifying foundation, this is the Covergirl trublend matte matte foundation. I am in the shade L20 Fair Ivory, and this is just what it looks like. It has a pump, which I absolutely love. You can pick this up at any drugstore. It's very affordable, very inexpensive. I like the longeviness of it. I like the feel of it. It feels very nice and very smooth. It is a very good smoothing foundation because it just kind of makes your face look very airbrushed and just very natural, which I love. So that is the foundation that we are going to be using today. I'm just going to be using this little foundation brush that I got off of eBay a super long time ago. The reason why I like to go in first with a brush is because I feel like it really gets that foundation kind of pressed into the skin, and it just kind of helps to blend it out. And I always start out with layers with my foundation, so I'll go in with one layer with this Covergirl foundation, and then I'll go in with another layer, and then what 2 layers of the Covergirl foundation it looks like. Now, I know that some people really don't like to use foundation in layers, but I kind of do. I feel like that works best for me. This is kind of a medium to fullish coverage foundation, so I really like it. I think it's really good. It's lasted through the heat. I've been sitting outside under our little shelter thing with that foundation on, and it hasn't broke up on me or anything like that. So let's move on to concealer, because I'm really excited because I learned a new trick with concealer. So I've been watching a lot of Robert Welch here on YouTube, and I freaking love him. I have been subscribed. I'm obsessed. And something that I have been really paying attention to is whenever he reacts to certain YouTubers or just whatever doing their makeup, he always talks about excessive use of concealer, and I 100% agree with him, but I've never really known how to use concealer sparingly because everybody always uses such a massive amounts of concealer, like it's really obsessive. He talks about his method that he does on his clients and on himself, and I have been using this method and really like it, so I'm going to go ahead and show you guys right now. So how to use less concealer than what you already do is like this. So I'll take a little bit of it and dot right here in the inner part. Now this dot right here is going to brighten up that little inner corner. Then he'll do another dot right there on the outer corner. This one, I kind of use this one to kind of like carve out my eyeshadow. But he also uses it to brighten, but I just use it for that purpose. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. Now he doesn't do this, but I like to do this. I like to let my concealer get a little bit, not dry, but almost just a little bit tacky, to where it's almost dry before I blend it out. And I feel like you get a fuller coverage that way. So we are just going to wait a couple of seconds and then blend it out. Now you can use your fingers, but I don't really like to do that, so I'm just going to go back into that brush that we used for the foundation to blend out the concealer. Take this side and just kind of blend this out first. And the reason why I like to do this is because this is how I like to do it. I feel like it's easier for me, and I kind of go and use tapping motions whenever I do my concealer. Then I'll come in here and just kind of slowly drag it. Take this side and just kind of blend this out first. And the reason why I like to do this is because this is how I like to do it. I feel like it's easier for me, and I kind of go and use tapping motions whenever I do my concealer. Then I'll come in here and just kind of slowly drag it. Some of you guys might be following along with this at home, and you might be thinking, this crazy girl has way too many steps for her foundation routine, but I promise you, if you follow my steps, if you are following along at home, you are going to have such a flawless base. So just stay with me, okay? Now we're going to go into my Real Technique sponge, and I'm going to be dampening it with just this little water bottle right here. And the reasoning why I'm going to be going in with my Real Technique sponge is because that brush right there leaves brush strokes on your face. That's just something that's going to happen whenever you do use a foundation brush. But the reason why I like to use the brush is because I like the coverage that you get with a brush, because sometimes when you apply your foundation with just a straight sponge, it will sometimes kind of soak up the product, and I don't really like that. So I like to just take a damp beauty sponge and just kind of tap over and go over everything and just kind of remove those harsh lines. And with the dampness from the sponge, it'll kind of reactivate the liquids that you just applied to your face, and it'll kind of move them around to where the lines will disappear. Another thing that you can use at home to dampen your sponge with is you could do this with a setting spray, but I like to use just water to do this process with. Going to take a little bit of that powder, and I'm going to set my under eye area. Now, the reasoning why I don't bake or anything like that is because I feel like it looks so unnatural in natural lighting, especially if you don't do it properly. So I'm not a big fan of baking. I'll just apply just a very thin layer of powder underneath my under eye area, where I just applied that concealer just to set it in place. Now, I no longer really set my entire face, and the reason why I don't do that anymore is because that's just more product that will have to break off and kind of break up on your face. So I find that if you just kind of powder your face less, it looks more natural, and it kind of helps your makeup last a little bit longer. I know that sounds really stupid, because I know that we're fed that whole lie of like powder is supposed to help our makeup last longer, and in a sense it kind of does, but I feel like whenever I overly powder my face, it always just causes my face to kind of break up even more. So I've noticed by doing less amounts of powder and applying the powder underneath my foundation really helps the longevity. I am back on camera. I did the rest of my makeup off camera, and I have to say I love the way that my foundation looks today. I think it looks super pretty and super flawless, and if you're going somewhere this summer and it's going to be really hot and humid and just really muggy outside and you're worried about your makeup breaking up, I think if you follow my simple routine, I believe that your foundation will be lasting and staying on all day long. So if you like this video, then please give it a big thumbs up down below. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down there as well, because I'm here for you in new videos every Thursday, Saturdays, and Mondays at 6 or 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching this video. I greatly appreciate it, and I will see you all in Thursday's video. Bye, my little unicorns.